Hello friends, welcome back to this series of Python. In the last video, we discussed about the socket program. That was a simple socket program where we created a server and a simple client, and client was able to connect to the server, and they were able to send the message back and forth. But in real scenario, we don't have these kind of applications or client server products where there is only one client and one server. There are number of clients in the real scenario, and there is one server which is fulfilling your request. Like sometimes you might be able to connect to a chat server and then you are doing the chat with your friends. So in that case, we need multiple clients and there is one server. Okay, so how we can create a server which can have multiple clients, that we are going to see today. And in the next video, we will see a sample program that is a chat server, a simple chat server with a multi-threaded server where one client can send the message to the other client. So that will be done in the next video. So the next video will be a bit longer, but this video will be a bit smaller. I mean, it would be simply like 50 to 15 to 20 minutes video. So, but in the next video, you need to prepare with the mindset that may be of around 1 hour as well. Okay, so let's start for today. So for the socket, we need to first import this socket, and we need to create a multi-threaded server so that number of clients we can handle. So we need to add these two. Now we need to open a socket. So I'm going to create it as a server. So srv socket, I'm going to open a server socket, socket.socket, right? If you don't provide any arguments, then the by default protocol would be TCP, and the socket family will be IPv4. So if I have to provide something like something similar to the one that you used to do in the C programming or C++ programming, then we can do something like this: socket dot sock underscore, not sock underscore stream. First, I need to provide the AF inet, the address family, AF inet. Sorry, you need to press the space and then comma, and then I need to provide the option like if I'm going to create a stream socket or a datagram socket. So if I'm going to create a stream socket, then I need to give it sock stream. Okay. So this is a stream socket. A stream socket means we are going to create a connection oriented socket, which will be a connected socket. It needs an open connection every time for the communication to let happen. It cannot break. If it breaks, then all the things will be gone. Again, the client need to connect back. But in case of datagram socket, which we will discuss in coming videos, in that case, we can have a disconnected socket. But in case of stream socket, we cannot have a disconnected socket. Okay, so let's quickly move ahead and just print something like server socket opened. Okay, and then srv socket, you need to bind it, and you need to bind it, and you need to provide the address, localhost, and the IP address. So 9912, I'm going to provide this one, 9912. And if it is binded, then just print like it's bind to the local port, and then srv socket dot listen. I can listen up to 5 clients, and just print started listening. That's it. And then we need to just wait for the incoming connection. So here I will print waiting for the incoming connections. Okay, and then what we have to do, we have to accept the new connection if some new connection is coming. So for that, we need to use the accept call. So in the previous video, I told you that when you use the accept call, this call returns you two things. One is the client socket, the other is the IP, right? The IP from where it is coming, and the client socket, CLI, is the new client socket. In the previous video, I was discussing like whether the client is a new port number. It's not a port number, it's a new socket descriptor that you get from the client, and using that socket descriptor you can talk to the client now. So this particular socket, srv socket, is used to listen to the new request, and whatever you get here after the socket call, srv socket, after the srv socket dot accept call, after that whatever you will get in this, that will allow you to connect, not connect, basically communicate to the client which has connected to you. So if you have to send any message to the client, then you need to use this socket. Suppose if I have to send a message to the client that yes, you have been connected and it's successful, then what I will do, CLI dot send, and I need to send the bytes. In the previous video I told you that you need to send the bytes, and just send a message, connect successful. Okay, so this will be the message that will be received by the client after it will be able to connect to the server. This is the server, and after it has been connected, what it will do, I'm not sure why it is doing this. Okay, so now you have sent it to the client, but now once you have got new connection from a new client, then in that case you can open a new thread, and that particular thread will take care of that particular client, and you will be waiting again for the new connections here, right? So the new responsibility to handle the new client, that will be taken by a new thread. So how we can start a new thread? So before I can start a new thread, I need to write a function, and you know that in Python, you write a function using the def keyword, right? So here I'm going to write a function which will be a new client thread. I'm just putting a comment here. So here what I will do, I will write a new function, new client socket handler. Okay, so it's a new client socket handler, and it will get client and IP both, and then here you will be able to handle the new client socket inside this function. So just let's write here, print the new socket, the new client has socket ID, and here just do like this, CLI. This will give you the new socket descriptor. Just like here, srv socket is a separate socket descriptor, and that's a listener socket. Similarly, you will get a new client socket using which you will be able to communicate to the client, communicate with the client. Okay, so you will print it here, and then what we can do, we can just wait for new messages to be received from the client, newly connected client. So you can write here while true, and you can just simply write it here like print recv cli dot recv, how many bytes, 256 bytes dot decode, right? Why decode? Because everything will be sent as a byte, so you need to decode it in the normal string form, so you will get it here. Okay, so that's it. So here you will get it, you will be able to get the messages as soon as any client will send, connected client will be sending the message, you will get the message and they will be printed here, right? So this is our server part, but before I close this server part, I need to do one thing here. I just need to start the thread, start the new client thread. So what you will do, threading dot start new thread, and here you need to write like new client socket handler, socket handler, and then you need to pass the CLI and the IP. Both these things have been accepted by this function, so you need to pass this, right? So from here onwards, the new client thread has been started, right? So uh, here I need to print one more message so that we can clearly see that from where we have got the message. The message got for client socket, and here you can do like CLI. So every time you will get a message, because we are going to use the multiple clients here. We are going to have number of clients which will be connecting to this server, and all of them will be sending the messages to the client, to the server. So we need to distinguish that yes, we are able to see the messages from different clients. So for that, I have printed this CLI here so that we can distinguish that yes, this message server has got from some other client and some other message has got from some other client. So we can distinguish between the clients. Okay, so I'm just going to compile it, but before that, let's run it first so that we are ensured that yes, it is fine and it is waiting for the new connections. So new client thread, I need to close it because you need to close the comment. The comment was not closed, that's why it was giving problem. So okay, server socket is open, started listening and waiting for the incoming connection. Let's stop it here only. Now let's write one more program, which is the client program. So this is the client socket program for which I have already opened this. So few things I just need to copy, like socket. So here import socket, and then I need to open the client socket. CLI socket is equal to socket.socket and socket.af underscore inet, then comma, and then socket.sock stream array. Okay. Okay, so it's socket stream. Now I need to connect. So I will use CLI socket dot connect. And what I need to provide? Localhost and then 9912, the port number to which I need to connect. So once it will be connected, I need to print like this: client has been connected. That's it. And after that, I will just receive a message from the client if I have been from the server if I have been connected or not. So for that, I just need to write a message. The message from server is CLI socket dot recv and then 256 and then dot decode. Okay, so this is the function. This is the function recv which will be receiving here from the client, from the server. A message will be received, and what should be that message? That message should be this one: connect successful, right? Because we are trying to connect to the server. So first message, as soon as my client will be able to connect, the very first message that will be coming will be connect successful. And after the connection is successful inside a while loop, before the while loop, I need to print a message that please keep providing the messages to send to server. Okay, so here what I will do, I will just write a while loop. Okay, so here what I will do, msg is equal to input. Please write the message string in quotes, right? Because we will be sending the message, so we need to send the string in the quotes. And here it will be the message. And this input function will accept the input from you, or you can say the client. So client will be providing the message here, and that message will be sent to the server. How I will send it? Send function, and what I will do, bytes and then msg. Okay, so it will keep sending the messages, and once a new client thread will be created, this thread will be keep receiving the messages. This message will be sent to the client only once by the server, and after that the handling of the client of this new client will be done by this thing, this particular thread, right? So every time a new message will be sent from the client, that will be accepted by this thread, and that will be sent from here, from this code, from the client. Okay, so let's save it, and server is running. Okay, this is server. So server is running. What I'm going to do, I'm going to open a new two new clients. These are the two new clients. In fact, I should open one more so that the feel good factor would be far much better for you guys. So this one is the third one, and cd Vikash / Python, that is the location where I have my program written, right? Where Python script is there, right? The client Python script. And the name of the client Python script is testclient.py, and this is at this location, c Vikash Python testclient.py. So if I have to run a particular Python script, let me open all these clients. If I have to run a particular script, then what I will do, Python, and what I will write, test client.py. Okay, CI is not defined. Okay, so this one I need to correct here before I can please write the message. I just need to stop it, and here I just need to correct it because unfortunately I wrote it like CI, and let us correct this. 9913, and in this one as well 9913. Why I'm changing the port? Because I have not used the option. There is one more function in the socket which is used to let the socket program know that you can reuse a particular port to which you have connected. So if you have not provided that, just like in our case, we have not provided that set sock we have not provided that function, we have not used that function. So if we have connected to a particular port earlier, then it will not allow me to connect to that port again, right? So since I'm writing a very simple program, keeping the thing simple, so I'm just not discussing that one right now. I will discuss that in the next video or in the coming videos when I will close the socket programming for the Python guys. So in the last video, I will discuss few tips and tricks and few common mistakes or few common error messages that we get. Okay. So here we have 3 Python windows to test the Python. So test the client Python program. So here just need to make it clear screen, and then just start it from here, Python test client.py, and it will not be able to connect because I have not started the server. So first start the server. Once the server will be started, it is waiting for the incoming connections. So now you can go to the clients. All the clients need to be opened, and here just do a CLS and just do Python test client.py. Now let's see what happened here. Okay, so it is saying that waiting for the incoming connection. The new client socket ID is something here. It must be okay. So it has been printed here. The message got from the client socket is this, right? So this is right now a message which has been sent by the client, which is nothing right now. So now whatever I will send, that should be shown here, right? So I need to provide the message in the quotes, hello Vikas, Okay, so this is the new message. The message got from the client is hello Vikas. Now it is waiting for the again for the new socket. So you can see here the value of the socket is coming. So now let me open another socket, another client. So Python test client.py. So you have got a new connection which is different from this. This is different and this is different. 8 to 8 and this was F8, right? So now what I will do, I will send a message from this client as well. Hello from other client. Okay, so hello from other client. You can see that this message is coming and from the first client it was coming. So it is printing everything like hello from the client and this has got from this one, right? So let's see what will be the next message if I create one more. If I open one more client, Python test client.py, and here hello from third one. Okay, so here you can see that this is another new socket which is 9.8 and it's the hello from third one, right? So if I keep sending the message from anything, client 1, then it will be able to keep printing the message from wherever it is getting it, right? So here client 2, it is printing that client 2 has been received from this. Okay, so you can see that from every client it is able to get the message, and that's why I have printed it as well. The socket ID I printed so that we can distinguish that from which client it has been received. Okay, so now I guess you might have understood that how you can create a multi-threaded server and a kind of server which can deal a number of clients. So in the next video, we will prepare a new chat server, and that chat server, using that chat server, we will be able to allow the communication between the two clients through the server. Suppose two people want to chat with each other, then in that case, they need to connect to the server and then they need to connect to the other one who is right now online, because if someone is offline, then he cannot send the message, right? So for that one, we will see that how we can create a connection oriented socket, and how we can create a chat server. But in real scenarios, we need to use the UDP for the chat communications, right? Because in case of chatting, we don't necessarily want that every message is getting delivered. Even if some problem occurs, then we can ask the client to send the message again that this message was not delivered or whatever issue could have come. So before we will discuss about how we can create a chat server, I'm thinking that before that I should show you that how you can use the UDP protocol with the socket program in Python, right? So for today, that's it. And in the next video, we will discuss that how we can create a UDP socket program. And after that, in the coming video, we will see that how we can create a chat server, a simple chat server where two people, two clients, or more than two clients, they can connect to each other and talk to each other over the text messaging. Okay. So that's it for today, guys. So please like, share, and subscribe my channel. If you like my video, please share it with your friends, and let me know if you need something else as well, which is missing here in this socket program with Python. Okay, so have a nice day and bye bye again.